OFC Podcast Radio.
Welcome to OFC Podcast Radio, where every beat, every word, and every laugh is a celebration of our journey. Join Gina the Great, your joy curator, Farrah Hammond Freeman, the head honcho, and me, Queen Kaya, your soul sister. Stay tuned for a dose of melanated excellence right here on OFC Podcast Radio. But before we do anything else, we're going to bless our show and the kings and queens listening.
Blessed melanated rising, my people. I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and I'm grateful to our ancestors who have created another opportunity for us to be able to be on here. And I just asked that today's show, let it be fun, let it be uplifting, let it be entertaining, let it be inspiring, but most importantly, let it be empowering for each and everyone who have tuned in today as we send out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, great health, wealth, and peace. Hotep, amen, ashe, aibobo. Gina the Great.
Okay.
What it do?
So this week, I'm feeling grateful.
Mm.
I'm actually feeling grateful for being in Montreal.
Whoa, that's a first.
It's not a first.
No one really loves Montreal like that.
The gratitude of being in Montreal in the winter is not easy to find for me. I'm not a winter person.
No, put me on that list too.
But I tried a new restaurant, so this is a new restaurant alert. Have you had Ethiopian food?
Ethiopian, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where have you had it from?
Toronto.
Oh, in Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't got to go that far.
Okay, talk about it.
Because, I mean, I've been to Le Nid Bleu like years back, and a friend who couldn't make it for my birthday dinner, she was traveling around the world, which is normally around the world. She was traveling. And that's what, like I say, I mean, I'm grateful for being in Montreal today. I'm normally a traveler of things, but the one great thing you have about Montreal is that you can travel from a culinary standpoint nearly everywhere around the world.
So save a guy.
Right here in Montreal.
All right, that's true.
And I went to, so she took me to Queen Sheba. She invited me to Queen Sheba to have dinner there. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Linda, listen.
Is the truth.
Bloody listen.
Oh.
It was delicious. It was delicious. I'm going back like next week. I'm not even gonna hold you. Or maybe the week after that. Let's chill.
Right.
But highly recommended. It's a small spot. So if you're a few people, I would say to make a reservation. It's on Park, right after Mount Royal.
Okay.
It's called Queen Sheba. And it was flavorful. A lot of lentils and stuff like that too. But just like there's things I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm
here
this.
for it. Okay, right.
And funny enough, like no, not funny enough. Take that back, because that was going to be a wrong timing. So, like, if you don't know, like, Ethiopian food uses a lot of spices like cardamom, cumin, turmeric, all things that are super great for your system. So, like, after eating there, despite I ate to my absolute full, like, there was no bloating, no like
That's
fatigue,
awesome.
none of that, because all those things like turmeric and stuff are all antioxidants, anti-inflammation, and the pancake that they use.
Yeah.
I had to go and check it out because my friend was like, she's like, this must be gluten free because I'm not having any like digestion problems. I was just like, or maybe that, or it's an old grain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's both. It's an old grain or seed, I believe, and it is gluten free. And it's high in protein, fiber, and iron. So I'm like, they're doing something right in Ethiopia.
I love it. And the thing is, I'm very grateful for you sharing this right now, because basically, I used to talk to, I say I used to, because like ever since they became huge, I can't connect with them anymore, but Abba and Preach. And I when speaking with Abba was telling me about an Ethiopian restaurant. And then like I had a craving here in the city, and I'm trying to reach him like, Abba, what's the name of the restaurant? But obviously now Abba's on top of the world, so I can't reach Abba anymore. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, what is that Ethiopian restaurant that he kept talking about? So thank you. I will go to Queen Sheba.
Queen Sheba. Right. It was great. And super affordable. So they have a choice where you have like a vegan choice where you get all their vegan choices, and well, you know how they serve food in Ethiopian restaurants,
like, and we kind of eat with our hands or
yeah.
anything.
So they have the teff pancake. No, what's it called? Injera. Yeah. So injera is made out of teff. So they have the injera. So they have it like it'll be wide as the plate. They'll put the different dishes on top of that and give you rolled up pieces, and then I also had to learn the right way, because every time I kept picking it up, we were just making a mess on that table. And I was just like, why does it look like I don't know how to eat? Here's a technique. Learn the technique and then go.
Okay.
Make sure you wash your hands before you go, obviously, too.
Hand eating, right?
But I feel like the next time I go, I need a little wet wipes. You know, I'll just have wet wipes with me. Because as much as I think that it's a great experience to eat with your hands, and it's nice and fun, I'm the type of person, like, every bite I need to wipe my hand.
Yeah, I'm like that, too.
So my napkin was just...
gross.
It was in shambles.
Yeah.
And like, I think it yelled at me one time. I was like, I'm not meant for this. You're doing too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Queen Sheba on Park. Shout out to them. And the other thing too, I want to be more intentional, you know, 2025. I like game nights, and especially with how much fun we had over the holiday, I want to have like quarterly game nights, actually.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Quarterly every 3 months at least?
Every 3 months. Because the other thing, a lot of times you have fun at things, you're like, we're going to do this every month. It never happens.
Stop, exactly. It's like, don't.
And then every other month, that's also a pretty... If you say once a quarter,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
We could
We're
definitely
gonna do it
make
4
that
times this year. If it happens more, great.
I'm with that. Have you ever played Block Us?
Block Us, no.
Okay, yeah, it's a board game. It's an awesome board game. It's a quick board game.
So that's what I want to do too. I like, there's the games that we've always played, but like, if we're really gonna do this, and I say we, it's the royal we of like me and my surroundings and whoever's available when it is. I'll let you know when, because we did set a date for the next game night.
Cool.
Like, I do want to try new board games. Like, let's try new things, and there's new things that are coming out that are fun. So, yeah, game night is it. And then what we're gonna do, I seen these things where they do it's called like board nights as well. So like, everyone who comes, they come with like a board of like a snack. So one person will come with like nachos, and another person will have like little bites and like bocconcini and tomatoes and stuff. So it doesn't have to be like we're cooking this crazy amount of things, but everyone comes with a little board of bites, and you have bites throughout the night. You have games, you got drinks if you're drinking. If you're not, you're not. But yeah, that's gonna be the plan.
Oh, yeah, I used to work with a sister named Jennifer. I haven't spoken to her in years at this point, but she put me onto this thing that I wasn't aware of. That, you know, there are clubs like groups of people that get together and play board games. Like they meet up online or whatever, like a kind of meetup type of thing, and they go and they play board games. And I'm like, wow, that is such a cool thing. I would never do it like that, but I like that. I like that initiative, and it's just like, yo, it's fun, you know, whatever it is. That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, those were my highlights of the week.
Word.
I will get back to you guys eventually with how game night is going and will be going. But yeah, how was your week?
So basically, we discussed last week my fast. So the 3-day fast, it was quite the adventure. There was ups and downs. I'm very disciplined in the way, like, you know, again, like when I tell myself this is what I'm doing, right? So it was like 3 days, no eating. Just drank water right through. The second day, my mother-in-law, I was letting my mother-in-law know that I was fasting and whatnot, and she's like, oh, you know, you should squeeze some lemon in it to increase my electrolytes or something like that. Yeah? You know, so she's like, all right, cool. Now I did that. Kind of had I don't know,
adverse effect.
Yeah, because one my spirit said just water. All right, so next time, brother, just listen. I said just water. All right, I didn't tell you water or lemon. I didn't tell you water and juice. I said water. So, but it was kind of like an up and down, because it's like, so now I'm drinking it with the lemon in it, and it definitely is feeling different in my system. And I'm like, okay, but again, maybe because now at this point it was 30 something hours since I had eaten, like maybe 36 hours since I'd eaten anything, and it was just water. And so now I'm introducing like lemon and water, and it's like my body's kind of like, okay, so there's lemon coming back into the flex. So it kind of gave me a weird vibe, but then I have to say later on, like, I felt better. But it's just weird. This is my first time, people. Okay, my first time doing like a disciplined just water fast for, you know, consecutive days. But so I don't know if that was normal. That I kind of felt a little weird. Like, I can't even really explain it. Like,
I think the 36 mark. There's something about that 36 to 48 that that's when it really starts to really challenge you. Because I did a 72.
Yeah.
And like day one, I was fine. Towards the end of day two, I was just like, I'm an unhappy person.
Yeah, because you know what it was feeling like? It actually feels like I'm carrying my body. Like it's like I feel like it's like almost like my spiritual self is heightening, so to speak, and I'm carrying my body, and like I'm like, man, this body's like, it's heavy. Like it's just like, you know, it's like I just didn't have the same kind of energy. But at the same time, I am prone to getting migraines. I've been getting migraines since I was a child. Right. So that was one thing that I was a little concerned about, but I went in 100 anyways, because I'm like, hey, but normally my triggers for migraines are not eating, not sleeping, it's not eating, not sleeping. Obviously, if I overwork, like if I push myself, like looking at my computer, like regular things too, if I'm just looking at my computer too long, or if I need to go to the bathroom. If I'm holding shit too long, it's terrible. It's got to go. Like my system is in the way it has to come out. My bowel movements have to roll.
So if you don't poo, you get a migraine?
I get a migraine. Like it is like
how long are you holding this poo for?
It doesn't have to be long at all. Like when I need to go, I need to go. It's like my body is like, yo, get this out. And it creates. But I guess I guess I'm sensitive in that kind of sense.
It's like your migraines are your alerts.
It may be, but it's a terrible alert.
It's terrible.
So anyways,
it's terrible.
So but just to say, so I was like ready for it. But now during this thing, because I so don't want to get a migraine, and I know that my body is going through a thing, I felt like I was more delicate with myself, where normally I don't give a shit about this body. I've been doing all kind of stuff, like running it into the ground. Like I'm like, just get up. Like we got stuff to do. Like that's it, you know. But this time,
my body's like, you know, I got many more years that I need to be here.
It's so funny because actually, I think I even said it once that my spirit was like, if you continue like this, the amount of years that you're supposed to have, you're gonna shorten them. So you keep it up, you know. So anyways, so I was like, yo, let me just be easy with it, and yo, no migraine at all, no food for the 3 days, and no headache, no migraine, no nothing. But I have to say, like every time I felt a slight because either I'm talking too long or I just stop whatever I'm doing. I'm like, yo, if I'm working on my computer too long, I'm feeling weird, shut it down. Like I'm not in the mood for no headache. I'll just stop. So, and I was very intentional about my breathing.
I feel like your migraines are my acid reflux. And like, because when you said that, I was like, oh, I get it. Because when someone's like, oh, have a sip of wine, and I'll have that one sip, and then I can feel it. I was like, no.
You need to,
and like whatever you're doing, it's like if I don't stop right now,
that's it. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Yeah. So that's really what it is. So it's like it was a very cool experience, very enlightening experience. I was able to, you know, like learn that about myself, learn how to control myself a lot better, how to take care of myself a lot better, and actually, during the whole process, I did, so I had mentioned last week, I went to that Desta thing, so that was cool, and I got some revelations there. And then the Friday, shout out to Kim, Dominic Ferguson, and Mad Poetics. He had Khalil John, aka King Chosen One. As you guys know, we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. And King Chosen One crushed it. Like, I got his book. Amazing book. If you guys don't have it, go cop it. All right, just get in contact with him. It's only $15. And it's called the Black Book of Poetry by Khalil John. And what I appreciate about it again is just that level of vulnerability as a man.
That's a big word.
Yeah, it's like he was really like he dropped the things that, you know, that brought him joy, brought him pain, the love lost, the love, like, you know, the passing of his mother, like the birth of his children, like things that, you know. And it was an amazing thing. And again, no flukes, no coincidences. One of our members, she came out to the show as well. Shout out Sister Ayana. And we're chatting, and I'm letting her know, you know, that I'm fasting and whatnot. And she's like, you're talking to me. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yo, she's been going through some stuff physically as well. And I can't remember if she said she intuitively got the vibe, or she was watching something online and it was like, anytime you're going through a physical something, a 3-day fast, 3-day water fast is what you need to do. But when she saw that, she's like, I'll save this video. I'll put a pin in it, you know. But she's like, okay, no, the fact that you're telling me this is what you're doing and this is what, she's like, okay, I feel I can. And, you know, for anybody out there, it's a cool exercise. To be able to put yourself through a discomfort, something that you don't enjoy, not to your detriment, right? But challenge yourself, push yourself. Like talking to my boy Chris, shout out Chris Immigrant. he has one of those ice bucket things. That you jump in and it's like you shock your system kind of thing or whatever be the case. And he's like, I hate it, but I love it. And I'm like, I get it. Yeah, like it's one of those things. Obviously you go in the sauna and stuff after, but the point is, it's that it's just doing what you don't like and then mastering it and conquering it. It's like it does something to your brain. It does something to your confidence. It does something to your self-esteem.
And then you get to change it, right? Because then it's less about not liking it. Because I think it's when I've been doing squats a certain way, and I was told like, well, I'm bending my body too much, do it this way. And when I did that, I was just like, I can barely squat doing this. It's like, right, because your body's always going to go back, is going to default to
what's easier.
Yeah, what's easier. Mm-hmm. And so it may start off that way, but after that, it's just like, ooh, like I love doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. And that's you just hit it right on the head. So it's just doing what you don't enjoy until like you're crushing it, until technically you're kind of, well, I don't want to say you're loving it, but the point is that you've mastered it, So again, guys, it's a fun thing to challenge yourself to do. If you're looking to level up in life, level up spiritually, this is something that you can do. Now, as we're talking the leveling up, the queen that we have on with us today, Sister Nadia from Diamond Blue. She's no stranger to the show. Guys, the message that she's coming with today: if you're driving, park your car, pull off, because the queen is working on some stuff that we all need to support. We all need to dial in on. We're talking about youth and we're talking about mental health, and our kids are going through it. And as adults, it is our responsibility, one, to get hip to the game and what is happening to them, and know what outlets are out there that's available. So guys, get ready. This is going to be an exciting one on Parlay with the People. And, they're all pretty awesome anyways, but I'm saying this one though. All right, just get ready as we now take a pause for the cause, and we'll be back with Parlay with the People. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of hjcourtierauto.com. That's HJCOURTIERAUTO.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M-City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com. DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
And we are back, beautiful people. So, like I had mentioned on top of the show, this queen is not a stranger to our show, and I'm glad to be able to have her back. I'm glad to be able to have her come back again. It's almost like a continuation because the last time she was here, we were also talking about health, mental health, but now we're actually talking about the event that we alluded to the last time we had connected. So it is the one and only Nadia Ce from Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia. Hello, Queen. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, and it's good to have you here in person. Last time I think we just did it over Zoom. So now it's like, now you're in the studio, you're in the house.
In the house. Nadia's in the house. The Diamant Bleu is in the house.
That's it. That's it. So, and you know, we're talking things that are important. And I said we're talking mental health, but more specifically, we're talking mental health within youth.
Yes, I'm having a mental health youth fair on January 25th. And for me, this project is really a special project for me. I'm referring I'm 46, I'm a single mom of 3 kids, but I'm referring when I was 16 years old, when I was put in a group home and I became pregnant. So how was my mental health? How you come to a group home where you're living with your parents and then you're put in a group home because you become pregnant. So for me, it was so important to be for the youth. I'm like, if I was a youth, how did I get help? Where was my mental health? So I wanted to create this project where I wanted to speak to all the youth that's going through a trauma the same way I went through my trauma and relate to them, but this time making sure there's going to be people in the youth fair where they could talk to, and it's all personal, because you understand that in Quebec there's a waiting list where it's 3 years, 4 years, but on the site there's going to be people that's going to be able to help you on the site and take all your information and help you through Zoom or talk about it.
Sorry, like when you're saying a waiting list, what's this waiting list that takes to, which I'm not surprised in Quebec, but yeah, what are these types of waiting lists that take so long for the type of help that they need?
Well, it's unfortunate, but all the doctors and all the psychiatry and all that stuff, it's a huge waiting list. Sure. But because I work at the Montreal Children's Hospital, I was able to reach out to some of my doctors that I work for and ask them if they didn't mind to come and participate in my youth mental health fair for the youth, and they said, Nadia, for sure, I want to be there and I want to help out. So there's going to be some of my doctors that's going to be on site, and we'll take some of their information and basically help out some of the young people that needs help or they want to talk about it.
Queen, this is huge. And now and we dove right into what's going on, but while you're talking about it, if you don't mind sharing a little bit more about your background, because now even your life experience coming up as a youth, because we always like to create in a space where people could get to connect with our guests, on a personal level. So if you don't mind just sharing a little bit more about your background, like because you mentioned quickly, getting pregnant and going into shelter, but it sounds like there's more to that.
Sure, I don't mind, guys. My background is really a big background, so so let me explain to you. So I was growing up, I was 16 years old, but at the age of 13, I became a mother without knowing I was going to become a mother. I was the older sister taking care of 4 brothers. Okay. So my mom was gone to Haiti because her dad passed away, and she had to go take care of, they came from an 18 brothers and sisters, so they all were gone to Haiti at the time, and I was left alone at the house taking care of my brothers and sisters, actually my brothers, because I didn't have a sister from my mother's side. So basically I had to become an adult before time. But when I became pregnant at the age of 16, my mom told me, I want you to have an abortion. I come from a Christian family, and she always told me, no, I don't want you God is number one, and you gotta make sure, blah, blah, blah. But because I was accepted in the law school, she wanted me to get rid of this, because she was one of the sisters, in the family. You always have a competition with your brothers and your sisters, and you want to teach, my daughter is gonna go into law school, and she got a full scholarship for basketball. But I lost everything because she did not want me to keep the baby. She said, if you keep the baby, I'm not gonna be there for you. I wanted to keep the child. So I kept the child, and I lost my whole family. So basically, I was put in a group home. She told me she was going to come and see me. And at that same year, I was graduating from high school. And I was going to get into a private college where it was in a law prep school that I got accepted to. And then I said, okay, mommy's coming in a week. So after a week, I don't see my mother. I asked the social worker, is my mom coming back? There's a problem because my mom's not coming back. The social worker said, let's go see where's your mom. But she's not allowed to take me under her wing. So basically what happened is that she drove to my home, and I was living in a ghetto hood in Ottawa. So, and it was Ledbury. So when we got back to Ottawa, to the Ledbury section, the neighbor said, your mom left. When she put you in that group home, she moved 2 days later. So I was just like, nothing, no letter. Like there was a letter, but no address, no phone number, no nothing. I was just in shock that I didn't have no more mom. Imagine going back to the center with this lady, which, you know, I don't know her, going back to the center, and I basically I was traumatized. Mm-hmm. So I was living with 15 girls. It was St. Mary's home. I'm not saying those girls were bad, but I understand that I was living where I left my background, coming to this group home where I have nobody, you know, you come from a Haitian family, you eat rice, you eat this, and then you come there and you eat potato with ketchup, and then you're not used to eat that. You're not used to eat the food that they're serving you. Yeah. And then it's a big fridge where you have to put all your food, whatever you're buying or whatever you're cooking, you have to live in the fridge. And people were eating your food. You know, you have to go and buy food, and people are eating your food. So it's like, it was really harsh for me. My mental health was harsh. And then I was counting on my friends, and some of my friends, because their mom were Haitian, and they're like, oh, this girl, I don't want you to talk to her. I don't want you to hang with her. I don't want you to, she's no good because she has a baby. She's pregnant. She's no good. Imagine I was graduating this year at that time, and I became pregnant. It was my prom night. So I asked my girlfriends, so guys, can you send me the address? Because my older brother's going to make the dress, and I'm going to go to my prom. I never made it to my prom. They gave me the wrong address. It was the worst year ever. Wow. I didn't end up to remember. I was sabotaged. It was the worst time ever. So I was really sad. It was like a Cinderella movie, but that just ended up being the worst Cinderella. Mm-hmm. So basically, end up in a group home. Stayed there. I'd stayed there for a year. I got my child. They put you in the housing, and then my life started from there. But you know, coming from a home, your mother needs to be there to teach you. You know, when you become pregnant, you have to tie your stomach. You know, the Caribbean way and all that stuff. I never was taught that. You understand? So I was just hurtful for me to become that young teen where there was no communication, no interaction, and I still wanted to go to school. And
that's the thing. And it's not from what you're describing. It's not like you were a wayward child. It's not like you were doing. It's like you got a scholarship to play ball, so you're consistent. You're playing ball, and you got into a law school. Yes. Right. So I could understand mistakes are made. You know, and you don't want to call the creation of a life a mistake, but in this scenario, I understand it wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned.
But to hear that. That's how your mom dealt with it, and and then using religion. It's funny, in our past episode we were talking about religion, and it's a shame when people use religion, and religion basically becomes a catalyst to do something wrong.
It does, actually. And you're thinking that you're going to become that strong woman because you've come from a Christian family. Basically, my uncles are pastors. I have aunties, they're diacre d'église. I have like so many of my aunties, they're all into Christianity, and I was just judged. I was crucified. None of them was there for me that you respecting. I could tell you I got 2 of my aunties that was checking on me. Some of my cousins were checking on me. But where was my family? Where was that Christian part of the family that was there?
Where's the love thy neighbor? Where's the being there for them? And it's funny because, as you said that too, when you're saying that she had embedded in you the Christian values, abortions are not part of Christian values.
Exactly. But she wanted me to hide, which my cousin, it's funny because my cousin got pregnant, but because their fathers were pastors and stuff, they had an abortion. They had to hide it. But me, being honest of who I am, I kept my child. I got crucified, right? I was judged. I was no good. You're not a good soul. You're not a good sister. Some of my aunts they denied me into their homes and stuff like that because of the woman that I was at the time that I was 16, 17, and 18. But you know what, guys? What I want to tell to the youth is that no matter what your family or whatever you go through, You fell down, you get up, and you stay stronger. Your resilience does not, whatever you went to does not define you. You become stronger and stronger to everything that you do in life. The reason I started the fair, the mental health fair, this is my 3rd edition, is because 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I was supposed to go for a bariatric surgery, which I went after it was going crazy. The bariatric surgery did not go well with me.
Bariatric surgery?
Yeah, I was supposed to go for a bariatric surgery. I was 300.
What is that?
It's a bariatric surgery where you tie your stomach when you're too big, because I was having a lot of problems in my health. Okay. And then when they went there, they saw a cancer in my intestine. Okay. So I had a stomach cancer. After my stomach cancer, I did a lot of chemo and stuff like that. And then I was still working on the hospital, but I was going through so many stuff. Like I was in denying of my brain tumor. I was denying that I was going through a lot of health issues. And then,
wait, how did they find the brain tumor? So
basically, what happened is that after my chemo, I was still bleeding from my nose, and my head was hurting and hurting and hurting and hurting. One time, I just fainted right there, and then they did a lot. I said my head was still hurting and was still hurting. At first, they thought it was epilepsy. I have epilepsy episode, but then they went in further and further. They had a biopsy and it was benign, so I had a brain tumor. I've been fighting my brain tumor for over 8 years now. I'm a strong person. It does not define me. They wanted me to quit working. I did not quit working, but I went through the biggest depression ever. I lost my house. I became homeless. 7 years ago, I became homeless. While I was in the hospital, I had a house. I lost everything. My kids were living in the house. I had Joshua, Nicholas, and Shayla. Joshua at the time was like 14. Nicholas was like 12. And Shayla was younger. So what happened is that Joshua reached out to my family, my mom, and stuff like that. And she said, no, let her lose her house. So basically, Joshua did not know what to do. So one day, he couldn't pay the rent. He didn't know how. He was young and stuff like that. Shayla went to live to her dad's, which Nicholas didn't. He was living at my brother's. In the middle of winter, my brothers kicked him out for no reason because he opened the light in the middle of winter. In the middle, it was -40. So he had to go to live with his Italian friends. And Joshua was going from house to house. He rented house and became the man he had no choice to become. I lost everything. So one day from the hospital, I took a taxi to go to my house because my son called me crying. So I said, I have to go check my son. The doctor said, you cannot leave the hospital. I said, I need to go see my kids. So I took my stuff out, took a taxi, go to see my child. Everything was on the floor. My bed, my shoes, everything. All the stuff I work for was on the floor.
Like when you say you mean outside on the ground? Outside.
On the ground, outside. I was shocked. I had no house no more. They had put something and they said they had tried to reach me, but I was in the hospital, right? So I tried to call several organizations. No one was reaching out to me. I left several messages, Maison d'Haïti, this and that, all those kind of organizations. No one was reaching out to me. I took a cab to the Pont Victoria. And I tried to kill myself. I wrote a letter. I told the taxi driver, I need you to drop this to my kids. And I need them to understand it's my fault. It's all my fault. I had 3 tentatives de suicide. I tried 3 suicidal temptation. And I was like, God, I need you to give me a sign because I don't understand why I'm going through all these crises in life. I was a good person. I always help out my community. Why is it that I have to go through something? At first, I was blaming so many people around me. And then I said, you know what, Nadia, you got this. You need to fight this. I was looking at social media, listening to certain people that was saying, get up, you got this, fighting that. So social media helped me get back up. So I fight this. I said to myself, what am I going to do? And what happened is that I was taking my shower downstairs at the hospital and going upstairs pretending that everything was okay. One of my doctors caught me, a plastic surgeon, Dr. Gilardino. He's like, Nadia, what's going on? I saw you taking your shower downstairs. And I was telling him I was homeless. I lost my house and everything. He gave me a check of like so much money, and he's like, go get your kids and get yourself back up. Him and other doctors reach out and give me some money, and I got up and I prayed, and I said to myself, and then that woman, remember that social worker that he was taking care of me when I was in group home, her daughter reached out to me and said, my mom needs to talk to you. Went to see the lady, and she said she was dying. She had cancer. She said, and I was crying. I said, what am I going to do without you? You know, she's a Polonaise, you know, she was from another country. And she said, the same way I found your blue diamond and I made you smile again, you go help another community the same way your blue diamond. So I reached out and I said, le diamant bleu de Nadia. I reached out a blue diamond. And that's how the blue diamond existed. Wow. So for me, it's to give back to my community.
Story.
Sister, I look forward to your book. You have a book in you. Woo.
I want to tell people, life is not easy. If when you get rejected by your mom and you get rejected, there's one thing that you need to understand. She's your mother, but she does not define you. Whatever. I was mad at her so much. Every day I was angry at this woman. But how can you be angry at someone that her mother never taught her love, right? She never taught love. So how can she teach me love if she was never taught love? Right. But me, I was never taught love. But you know what? I give love to my kids.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, like, I know that we have to find reasonings to define why someone was the way they were. And I kind of a bit stopped doing that because despite how our parents were and how their parents were, like, everything in life is a choice. Right. So you can choose to be the villain. True. Or you can choose to make a change. And it sounds to me like your mom chose to continue what she being knew. Villain or villainship of it all. And good on you for breaking that cycle.
I wanted to break that cycle and I break it. It's hard because sometimes my daughter will come to me and say, Mom, I keep telling you I love you and you're not saying it back. Those words are harsh. And what I was doing is I was looking for boyfriends that had mothers because I was looking for a mom that I didn't have. You know, so I became best friends with the mothers of my boyfriends because I didn't have a mother. So that emptiness I had inside, I said, why don't you make that emptiness where you could give love to unconditional love to people that needs to have that kind of love, that will accept what you want to give to the community. So I would stand up. I started giving. I was taking my friends' kids that was like getting mistreated. I was doing stuff. I was helping out all people around me. I was rent me for an hour. So some of my friends were renting me. I was babysitting the kids, cleaning the house and stuff, and making my money just to try to hand me to help myself get back up. And I'm proud to say, as a single mom, I have Joshua. He during the day he's a teacher. He helps kids with difficult kids, and during the evening he's a DJ. My second child, which is a bit, he has,
and sorry, not just, he's a big DJ.
Yeah,
he's not just a DJ, big DJ, like he
DJ
does
YKTV.
Big festivals, big event DJ.
Oh,
yeah, he's not
awesome.
just, and she downplays it. So when she showed me a clip of what I'm like, he's not a regular DJ. I'm like, because when you hear DJ, you always think, oh yeah, cool, he does his thing in the club every once in a while. No, big time DJ.
He entertains the crowd. He does a lot of stuff. Like this kid has so much in him. He dances. He does a lot to the community. I don't know if you know Noli, Les Rendezvous de chez Noli. He's the DJ for the show in the Native TV. Okay. He's really, the whole community likes him. And then they have Nicholas, where the teacher, and this is what the youth, you guys need to understand to this part of my story. When Nicholas was in an elementary school, the teacher said Nicholas has TDAH. Basically, he's a slow learner. He's not going to make it to high school. He's not going to make it to university. Just get that in your head. Your child has disability problem, is autism and stuff. And he's like, you need to start giving him medication. I goes, Miss, I'm not giving my child no medication. The only medication he's going to get in Haiti, we say baton. You get the baton. You know, like, that's all he's going to get.
And that, I feel like, to speak to that subject, I don't think people understand the correlation that in public schools, like, sometimes you have classes that are 30-1. And I think they're misdiagnosing a lot of children with this idea of ADD because to make them docile. Because it's, and like, some teachers are teachers for the right reasons. Others are teachers because they need a job. And
exactly.
So they need to define that too. But for those who really truly want to do it from the bottom of their heart, it is difficult to teach a class of 30 and give the attention. So the moment you have someone who's not in line with everything else, they have ADHD and put them on meds.
Yeah.
And this is what parents, and I hope you guys are listening to this. if you're a mom or a dad or uncle or auntie, you have to understand the value of your child, because a lot of the parents from Caribbean, they don't understand. They make kids and they make the kids work, and they don't listen to what, they just listen to what the kids needs. But the kids needs more than that. I invested in my kids, and I'm proud to say I invested. Whatever I did not get when I was young, I gave it 100% to my kids. My child is 26, my other child is 23, my other child is 17, and I have 2 foster kids. So the child that was diagnosed with ADHD and he was autism, my whole family was like, oh, don't bring him around, he moves too much, he talks too much, he does that, whatever. I said, that's your business. My child is my child. I will bring him whatever I have to bring him.
People forget that when they're kids, they have energy, right? So they forget that you ran around and stuff like that. Like this whole quiet and sit on the couch, quiet. Like you forgot that we had energy to do
natural.
all kinds of things when we were kids.
So what I did, I said, so every day I told the teacher, instead of you putting him out of the class, can you call me each time that he gives you a problem? She's like, you think you're gonna have time? I was pregnant at the time. I go, just call me. So Nicholas started school at 8:30. I get a phone call from the teacher. You should have seen me. I come with my black robe, like I didn't even take my pajamas out. My hair was like Don King, and you have a big belly, and I'm going to the school. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, look, he's acting up. I get in the class. I go, what's your problem? It's boring. I can't say. I go, you like to hit? The teacher just told me you hit her. She's like, but mommy, you hit the teacher? What did I say to you about hating the teacher? And the teacher's like, miss, I put him out. I go, listen, you did your job. Now let me do my job as a mother. I didn't care if they were going to call the DPG, but I had to take my child out of the class and smack him, because I'm like, if you can't smack me, why are you smacking other people? I don't understand. You want to hit? I'm going to let me find a sport that you could hit. So I find the football sport. So football, you're allowed to hit. It's part of the sports, right? So I said, I want you to play on defense. You're allowed to hit. Nicholas was hitting every kid on the thing. So they put him to another grade, and another grade, and another grade. Guess what? Nicholas is the number 2 wide receiver here in Canada.
Okay.
Nicholas just graduated from Cégep with high notes, and now he's a wide receiver at he got recruited from University of Hawaii.
Okay.
So the ADHD kid, the autism kid that the teacher said he was not going to achieve anywhere in life, well, my child right now is in all the PS4s, all the Xbox. He's getting paid, and he's a professional football player, and he's doing very well in school.
Fantastic.
You see, that's like, and that it's funny, because if you think about where you came from and where you are now, and what you did what you're supposed to do. Like you although the trajet,
is it hard?
It was hard, but that's like you're going to reap the benefits of what you have, like what you've done, the seeds you've sown, the sacrifices that you've made, because nothing happened. There's no flukes or coincidences. You know what I mean? So like, I commend you for where you are and what you're doing. And just now, as we're talking about I guess we could transition a little bit in terms of this event.
Wait, sorry, before transitioning, I want to say, and maybe it was said before, but like, that is the difference of pouring into your children based on their capabilities versus trying to shame them in their
problems,
quote unquote problems,
right? Yeah.
And and like, you have a successful son who's a DJ, you have a successful son who's doing sports, and like, at the end of the day, I'm sure all your children are either successful, going to be successful, and
and my daughter's into soccer.
Yeah.
She's also in professional soccer.
And that's what happens when you pour into, and like, well, let's not go back to the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, but where you were and where you were going into, had you been poured into, it might have been something else, but maybe your journey, clearly your journey was to be able to build that and build a better community and be that for so many more people. Because if we look at it, right, sure, it would have been easier for your mother to pour into you and for you to continue on in your legal prep school, your scholarships in basketball, and do what you got to do. That would have made your life great. Now you're in a disposition where you're making so much, like you're helping make the lives greater for so many more people.
Wow.
Thanks. And this is why I want the youth to understand. I want the youth to understand, I'm not just Nadia Ce. I'm not just Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia. Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia was co-founded with Jerry Carie. Jerry Carie believed in me, and we co-founded like the Diamant Bleu de Nadia. And one of the things that we understood from each other was that he had a background and I had a background, and let's break the silence and let's try and teach the parents that when your child are in need of talking, when your child are in need of help, don't just let them. Speak to them. Understand what's going on. When you see your child is always staying in the room, there must be a problem. When your child doesn't want to talk, does not want to eat, what causes the fact that the child does not want to eat? If your child does not want to go to school, why is he not want to go to school? Because the child, this generation, guys, and to all the parents that's listening to me, because I work in the Montreal Children's Hospital, I see what the kids are going through, the anxiety that the child are having. They're not able to speak to the parents, the depression that the kids are going through. And as I'm an adult and I go through my depression every day. It's a struggle that I go every day, and I'm proud to say I seek help. Before, I used to I used to see this white girl and said, she's crazy, man. She has mental problems. But I could tell you, it's not only white people that have mental problems. You're going through a depression. I went to my depression. I went to 3 suicidal attempts, and I'm still standing with the God's grace. My anxiety was worse than everything. So I had to find way. My healing right now is healing by doing Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia, by having this organization where I'm not being just talk the talk, where I'm doing the talk and making sure my youth and my people are in need and listening, and I'm there for them. I'm not just like, Le Diamant Bleu, okay, Bella, this and that. No. Before, I used to say, okay, I'm going to go give the food to the needy. I'm going to make sure there's a camera that's following me. I said, how would you like it, someone following you when you're homeless? Right. I was homeless myself, and I saw people wanted to give me stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be part of the camera. So I had to respect their privacy. And now I do it on a regular basis. I don't bring no camera. I do it because of my soul tells me I want to go and give the help.
It's really I'm saying it again, Diamant Bleu de Nadia. I gotta read the book. I gotta hear the story. It's gonna be a bestseller. I'm putting it out there because especially now when we're talking about these youth and what they're going through as adults. Remember, a lot of us in this generation, I guess, like us 80s babies, so to speak, we didn't grow up with the internet like how our children are, right? And the children are not socialized how we were. So simple things is giving them anxiety. So and life is, I'm sorry to say, life is a rough sport. Like you gotta, so if now our children are growing up where they can't even talk to people, they can't look at people in their eye, they can't interact, like every single thing gives them anxiety, makes them nervous, makes them like, they can't, they're like, we are setting up this future generation for complete failure if we do not intercede, step in as adults, as parents. And like you said, you're hitting it right on the head. Like, because as parents, society also has us super busy, right? So a lot of times we're missing the mark completely because we're in and out doing what we're doing. Our children are like, we're not catching the fact that, are you sleeping, bro? It's like what's happening? You're up, you're like, but we're missing all these things. So it's like we really have to slow down and start paying attention again.
But do you guys understand, like, because my sister works at La Maison d'Arche, it's the salon funéraire, the funeral home. Okay. And do you know, she said, Nadia, another black girl suicidal.
What?
Another black girl suicidal. Do you know there was a black girl that suicided herself? She was only 12 years old. A 7-year-old suicided herself.
What?
7 years old.
What?
How could a 7-year-old kill himself? Do you know what? The child left a message, left a note. Dear Daddy, I cannot barely stand seeing you sad because mommy's not talking to you. Maybe I'm the problem. Kill himself.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of youth are getting killed one by one, and they're not telling their parents. There's stuff that they're going inside their head. If you're a parent and you're going through a divorce or a separation, please talk to your kids, because there's so many kids, and especially the Africans descendant, because they're so self-centered and they don't want to hide. They say, my child passed away because he was sick or he had a child, but it's not true. The child was not sick. Because I'm doing Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia, and a lot of the organization, African organizers, they want to reach out to me, and then some of them don't know that I work also. Sometimes I do a lot of maison d'arche and enter the stuff. So when I see their child was passed away of suicidal, I'm like, what happened to your child? Oh, he was sick. If you're a dad or woman, or your father or your mother, and you had to lie that your child was sick, but your child really killed themselves because the subject is still taboo. The stigma is still out there.
Yeah, we gotta change that.
We need to change the system. We need to help our child to do better in the society.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that we're so busy with our lives that we don't see what our kids need.
Yeah.
We're nurses, and this is what I've noticed in the Black communities. If you're not a nurse, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, you're nothing for them, okay? But I understand that you guys want to make money, but money is not about who you're going to become. You were raised, we were brought up without money, and we're still achieving our lives. So money does not make who you are.
And on top of that, there's much more money to be made without having to be those three things. And and I understand that in our community is not recognized, but you have people who are mechanics and have their own business and make more money than you think.
But it's status, you see, and it's ego, it's status.
And that's the crazy part, because you're putting status on the wrong things. Because you know what the other thing is? There's some doctors out there that have no money.
Yeah,
exactly.
True that.
So like it's flawed ignorance.
Yep.
I mean, maybe that's an oxymoron. But, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know.
I just want the parents to understand that instead of focusing on yourself or buying a Gucci purse or buying a Louis Vuitton shoes, try to invest in your child. That child needs some investment, because I had a radio segment where it was a Creole. I went to CPAM. It's a radio, Haitian radio, and then it was an open line. And then the woman called me. She was a nurse, and she's like, "Oh, my son is a vagabond. All he does is in a gang." I go, "Why is he in a gang?" She's like, "Because he didn't listen to my rules." No, because you were busy being a nurse. You were working. You didn't have time to check on your child. Your child needed attention, and your attention did not get it. So the only attention he got, it was from people that from the street that came and got him and said, "Listen, come and hang at my place. I'm going to give you all the attention. You're going to get the money that you deserve because your parent is not giving you your deserve." If your child goes into a gang, if your child goes and take money because you're not giving, "Oh, Mom, I need a pair of shoes because I want a pair of shoes. I don't have the money." If you don't have the money, it's fine. But you could teach your child. You teach your child, "Listen, why don't we work together or find some help?" Like now there's the Foundation Cadet and all kind of people that are teaching because we didn't get that when we were young.
Exactly.
Why don't you take like every week, take $20, put it in a bank account, take $20, put it in the bank account, so you could get that pair of shoes and we could work. You do your chores at home and you do this and you don't have to worry about it. But then you told your child, "No, I ain't giving you nothing."
That's it. And just leave it like that.
Leave it like that.
Yeah.
So
I
that
have to ask
child.
myself, like, some of these people, y'all having kids, do you actually want these children?
Yeah, it's
why
wild.
are you having kids? Because like, if you're thinking that this is just the evolution of life and you're supposed to have kids, like sometimes I'm hearing these stories, I'm just like, why did you have children?
Yeah, and but again, it's like it's a vicious cycle, because a lot of times now the parents are burnt out. They're not happy about the fact that they don't have the money for the shoes either, right? And they're like, "Yo, you should know I don't have the money. We don't have the money," you know. And but it's a lose-lose. Society's beating down the parent, but the parents aren't like you just said. It's just get creative a little bit, communicate. You gotta kind of like it's a sacrifice, yes, and we're not trying to downplay it and make it easy. Like real talk, it is a sacrifice. It is. You do have to sometimes come out of your comfort zone, because a lot of us weren't even taught how to properly communicate. Period. So now, and our children, whether it be our children, whether it be other adults, we don't know how to properly have conversation. Like, and unfortunately, this whole West Indian mentality is like, you're a child, don't talk to me in any kind of way. Like, and I know for myself, I made sure to break that from my children. From when you could understand me, I'm going to respect you. Like, we'll talk, right? I'll let you know what it is. I'll let you know consequences to actions. I'll let you know exactly how things operate, but I'm going to respect what you're saying. I'm going to listen to what you're saying, and I will respond. You know, so my children, like, we have a certain level of respect that is different than an era that I know of where our parents were like they instilled fear in us instead of us respecting them as parents. We more feared them as parents.
And here's a little tidbit, dear parents who want to act like that: you're gonna get old.
Your child.
You're gonna get old.
Yes, and then that child is not gonna take care of you if you're being rude to that parent.
Or they will take care of you.
Yeah,
but not the way you think.
Trust the way you took care of them.
Yes.
They're not gonna.
You're gonna
real
reap what
talk.
you sowed.
But
exactly.
and the thing is, it's so unpractical, because the reality is true. These children get bigger, they get stronger, and that's when now parents are battling because my child won't listen to me, because now they're at the point where they know, you can't do me nothing. So you're talking to me, I'm not listening to you anymore. Gone, I'm by. What?
Yeah, you're ruled by fear.
That's it.
Now that the fear is gone, as opposed to ruling by love, by ruling by compassion, by respect, by pouring into, by like treating you like another human being and not a commodity.
That's it.
That could be the change on that.
That's it, So so again, it's like it is a time that we be the change. It is a time it is for us as adults who are conscious, who are aware, and who are seeing things, and we actually have a very unique vantage point. Our generation particularly, because we were here before the internet hit, so we saw what life was, and we see where life is going. So we actually have an ability to make a change, to change things, to try to warp things back a little bit so that it doesn't go completely down the drain, right? But it's like if we don't make that effort, like literally that's it. The generation after us, they can't do it. They grew up in this, so it's literally for us to do it. We're technically just superheroes.
Well, it's basically like when the kids come to my house, I'm the crazy auntie, right? I'm the best auntie ever. So when the kids come to my house, I'm like, the rules. There's a thing on my front of my door. It says, put your cell phone in the baskets. So I want you guys to put your cell phone in the baskets. But auntie, I'm like, no cell phones in my house. I told you guys, we're gonna chill, we're gonna talk, we're gonna hang, but I don't want no cell phone around me.
That's
because it's important that you get entitled and you speak to your kids about that, because cell phones, the new generation, their generation, they're just on cell phones. So how do you get respected if you're speaking to your child? Okay, hold on, mom, my friend is texting. Hold on, mom, da. No. You put the cell phone in the basket, you leave it there, and you just talk. You interact. I go, in my time, that's how we used to chill.
It's so funny we have to say that. In my time, back in my days, that's how we hang. Let's go outside. But like, it's cool outside. In my time, we go outside and play. In the 1900s?
And my daughter used to make fun of my pants, right? I have pants that I used to wear when I was in 1997. He's like, oh my God, these pants are ugly. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Who's wearing my pants now? My daughter is 17. She's about to be 18. Goes, Mom, those pants are dope. I'm like, what happened to them? We're ugly and they were not in style.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, life takes you to a different level. And you as your auntie, as a mother, as a father, as an uncle, and this is what your roles are. To become that environment where the child's going to be safe, where the child is going to be... Look at what the basketball coaches lately they found. A lot of the females were getting abused sexually by the coaches of basketball. Where was your parents? All the parents that put their kids into basketball. Those girls that got molested, that got whatever, where was your parents? You guys were too busy making the money, and your kids were being, their mental states are down because they were getting the attention from the coaches that the parents or the daddy or the mommy was not giving them.
And I want to add to that, and I understand that, and it's funny because nowadays parents are not normally allowed in the practices for whether it's sports, piano, art, and stuff like that. Like they tell them to stay out of it, and that's okay. I get you wanna focus on that, and I also don't want us to go completely on the other end of the pendulum of like the fear of like anyone and everyone's gonna touch your child. But the importance of that is when you have that communication with your child, when it's leave the cell phone at the door and we can have conversations, then you create a safe space for you to tell them like, hey, by the way, no matter what anyone tells you, it's not okay for them to touch you and you don't like this. It's not okay for this. And like, if you don't feel comfortable saying something to them, come to me and then you deal with it. And then as a parent too, you have to be open and hear that and act immediately.
That's it. Yeah.
Because that's another thing in our community.
They don't want to believe.
They don't want to believe, or they tell or and like now.
I told my mother I was abused, and she sent me to Haiti.
Wow. And like it's so like I have to say, our generation is kind of in the middle of it, but like the generation before, you say that it was kind of just like, well, so was I. And then like that's just life, and like you push it through. So like now we're moving away from that, but it's still there. It's still there, and we have to really eradicate that.
And be very intentional, like what you're saying in terms of just speaking to the children beforehand. I know with all my children, I make sure that they understand anything somebody tells you and says, keep it to you. I was like, never do that. I was like, when it's like it's between you and them, be like, okay, cool, and come back and tell us. I was like, you understand? Don't just be like, okay, cool, and come back and tell us, all right? Don't anybody tells you, oh, this is between me and you. There is no between you and them. You come and tell us. Like, you don't, like, but the thing is, we as parents, we take it for granted. We just assume, my children knows. No, you got to tell them these things. A very random conversation I had with my children, I was like, what would you do if someone tried to abduct you? Like, somebody tried to grab you on the road. What are you going to do? And they're like, okay, well, maybe I would try. I was like, no, maybe nothing. I was like, you're gonna fight, you're gonna kick, you're gonna scream. I'm like, yo, I just want you guys to know. Just
scratch the eyes.
You know, I was like, yo, I was like, piss. I was like, do whatever you need to do. I was like, yo, I was like, don't take it for granted. And especially now, because we're hearing all these stories about kids getting kidnapped and all kind of different things. And I was like, yo,
the human trafficking is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's really more.
And especially the little black girls disappearing all over the place.
Yes.
Gee, it's like, so the thing is, like, we can't, and
don't get me wrong, boys get disappeared. Like, they get taken to.
In Ontario as well. Like, and the thing is,
in Ontario, there's boys disappear.
That's a whole other conversation. But it's like, we as parents, we can't be like we were saying, the example you're giving. Like, we want to trust. We don't want to have to be at every practice and everything. What we have to do as parents is equip our children, because you cannot be there all the time. So that's your job is to empower your children and understand they're going to grow into adults, right? Like, so you can't be there for them all the time. You have to empower them. You have to educate them. That's our role as parents. It's not to do for them, because when you do for them, you're basically crippling them. You're not giving them the tools that they need to be able to function, because you do everything for them. So that's whack. You really have to, and you have to let them fall. You have to let them hit their face on the ground sometimes, just so that they'd be like, that didn't feel good, eh? Okay, so now you do things different, right? It's like, you have to do that. But like, as parents, again, we have it, like, obviously there's no handbook to parenting, so to speak, but we gotta make an effort to communicate with each other, with our children. Like, just be there, be that example, because like, if we don't, like, again, like, we keep talking about it, but the generation that's coming, it's like, it's Hawaii Pia, and guys, reincarnation is real. We're gonna come back and it's just gonna be weird.
So depending on your karma.
Talk about it. But yeah, so again, so now this is an awesome episode we're having here. But so I want to make sure people get the point. So we have the event coming up, and it's right around the corner.
It's on January 25th, guys. January 25th is going to be the Mental Health Youth Fair, and what's going to happen is just the beginning for the 2025. So basically, at the event, there's going to be people doing performance. There's going to be also there's going to be a Foot Locker, Air Force pair, one Air Force to be drawn for the youth also. Cool. There's going to be a show. I don't know if you guys know Ty. Do you know Ty?
Hip hop artist?
No, he's not the hip hop artist. He's the Haitian kid, the black kid that does a lot of humorous for. Oh, cool. He's always making jokes and stuff like that. He's like he's a youth. He's like only not even 30. He's not even 25. Oh, cool. And he was during the pandemic. He did Occupation Hood.
Okay.
That's funny.
That he did. He did. And then basically he became a huge artist. He became all over. So I got tickets also for him.
Nice.
There's gonna be spa. Also for the youth, there's going to be so many stuff that's going to happen over there for you guys. There's going to be workshop, there's going to be food, there's going to be a lot of people there for you guys, just for you. Also, just to let you know, this is just the beginning for the Mental Health Youth Fair, because after that, in 3 months after, every 3 months, there's going to be something else for the youth. Yes. And the money that I'm going to be raising is going to give a scholarship for some of the youth that want to go continue the scholarship for sports and stuff like that. Whatever I didn't get, I'm going to give it back to the community as a respectfully proper way. And it's important that you guys understand, mental health does not mean that you're crazy. If you go into a depression, anxiety, anything that you feel that you're feeling, you're always sleeping, you feel like nobody understand you. There's going to be like writing workshop, there's going to be drawing workshop, there's going to be so many things for you. And even for the black little girls, there's going to be a girl there teaching you how to love your hair. Things that you could do with your hair and not to be ashamed of who you are.
So this is it's an all-day event.
It's an all-day event. It's from 12 to 9 o'clock, 9:30.
So basically, so walk us through. So we get there. There's going to be activities happening like simultaneously, or is it one after the next?
It's gonna be one after another. There's gonna be a panel where people are gonna be talking, and then after that, there's another panel where there's gonna be somebody performing. Then there's gonna be a break where there's gonna be also I'm looking also for you know those people that buy tables? I forgot.
Vendors.
If you know anybody, vendors that anything that has to do with mental health or well-being, y'all more than welcome to get a table. It's on, you can link into my Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia.com in my website with a Y. But there's going to be so many vendors, so many people there just for you. And there's going to be this guy named Michael Vincent. Michael Vincent is this guy where he used his experience and he started doing like a retreat for the youth. He goes into Mont Tremblant and does a lot of stuff for the youth.
Amazing.
So I want you guys to understand this. We got you guys. And don't be ashamed. And there's going to be so many good people there for you.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to being there. Definitely, I'm looking forward to being there and being able to share and connect with these youth. The OFC also, we're talking about getting a vendor's booth. I actually want to have some youth man the booth. So there's shout out to Brother Alush. His daughter has a business. So I said the OFC will sponsor the table and we'll put some of the youth at the table.
That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, so I think that's awesome. But again, what you're creating, the space that you're creating for the youth, it's to empower, but then just to let them know that there's adults who care, and
I just want you guys to understand. Last year, I had the mental health youth for the men.
Yeah.
Do you remember you came?
Yeah.
And my mental health for the men, there was over 300 people that I wasn't expecting to have, right? And then what happened is that out of those 300, 10 men went to get help. And 10 men went to call 911 and tell them they were beating their wives, or one of them was saying he had anger, and one of them was suicidal. What I'm trying to say is that we could break the silence together. You don't need to be no shame. You see, my kids till this day, I'm 46 years old, and my kid still calls me Nadia. But that Nadia had to become that woman because I was a single mom. I had to be that mom, and I had to be the father. And when I was the mom, I was nice, and when I was called Nadia, I was the man, right?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is that you learn from your mistake. And until this day, I'm still learning, guys. I'm not perfect. Sometimes it's not easy. You're debating, your depression every day. You're thinking that life is not easy. Like when I see a youth struggling, or when I see a youth sad, I'm an empath. So I feel their pain because I used to be in that position. So when I see that you guys are shy or don't want to talk, don't. Break that stigma. Let's break the silence together and make this event happen. And for me, it's to make sure that I wish I could have the contact for the news people to come and see how many youth could come to this event and want to break the stigma together.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, actually, you already know. We've reached out to 2 of the media contacts that we have. So we're just waiting for the confirmation, and we'll put you in contact. So hopefully we get some press there as well, because it's necessary. It's necessary to be able to show, to give hope to our community, because I think that's a lot of times people just don't know where to go and where to turn. And again, I commend you. I give you a huge shout out. Even just yesterday when you and I were in that workshop, somebody there who, and I have to say, just to tell you the power of this, right? This woman was an Anglophone, and because your other events were more Francophone, right? And so she said, she's like, she was really happy to see you, that that you're in the Zoom call, and she's like, guys, I just gotta say, I heard about Nadia thing online. I didn't know who she was, and I just went. I went to the event. I don't know French, but I just went with my spirit. She's like, I just went, and
she enjoyed it.
She loved it. She's like, it was great, and I just sat next to people and they translated for me, and she was like, but again, that just touched my heart and my spirit, because I'm like, that's community. That's how, we're there for each other. Like, oh, you're here, I'll whisper the stuff in your ear, no problem. We're here to do it together, but it's like you're doing that. You're bringing these people together, sister. It's such an amazing thing to watch. I'm super proud to have you as a member, as a partner within the OFC, because it really, if we could help to get your message out to the world, then that's what we want to do.
And really, my message for everybody that's listening to this show, I just want to know if to all the parents, to all the aunties, the uncle, godparents, please make a role. Be that person that's gonna talk to your child. If you're a mom and you can't talk to your child, reach out to your sister. Not because you're having beef with your sister or your sibling that your child cannot talk. to their uncles or their aunties, because maybe that uncle, that auntie could save your child of not being on the street. Maybe that auntie or that uncle could save the child to speak to them, to be in a safe zone, please, because you're busy or your life is going fast. Because my auntie was the one that saved me, and with God, you know. And it's important that you find that safe spot, because sometimes you feel lonely, and feeling lonely and feeling rejected is not a good thing. So being that child that was 16 years old that was feeling rejected, imagine your child being rejected. I was livid. I was frustrated, and I stand to you right now with my own organization, because I want to break the cycle and I want to touch people. You know, there's so many people in the community, right? They talk about mental health. I reach out to some of them that are on TV, and I don't get the call back. But you know what? It gives me striving again. I keep going and going and going and going. Wow. So to you, the youth, to you that listening to me right now, if you're 16 or you're 6 or all the way up to 25, 35, even me, I think I'm 46, guys. I still suck my thumb times to time. I have no shame to say I still suck my thumb. So I'm still going to stay that youth person. So I'm letting you guys know there's no shame to what you want to become in life. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty and transparency there, Queen. That's 100. But you hit it just now too, because it takes a village, man. It really does take a village, and it's like right now we need to function as a village. We need to function as a real community, and not just how when people say community, take the time to get to know each other. That's how community works. You got to take the time to get to know each other. So, all right, now we gave out the contact info for the event.
They could also, if you have Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or Facebook, my name is Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia with a Y. You can reach me anytime, any platform. There's somebody that takes care of my social media, but you send a message and I respond back quite quick, fast.
They really do. Yeah, so is there a contact number at all? Or
you can reach me at 514-463-5846. That's my contact. Or my associate, Jerry Carie, 514-827-1793.
And if you could repeat the contacts one more time.
My name is Nadia. Phone number.
And Nadia with a Y?
Nadia with a Y.
Got it.
So it's called Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia with a Y. And 514-463-5846. And Jerry Carie, my associate, his number is 514-827-1793. Amazing.
So now, this has been really fun. This is the part of the show where you know what? Before I even go to the words of empowerment, let me ask you, yes, we want people to come out. How can the community support you in what you're doing?
You know, if you guys want to support me, really, if you go to my website, I just want you guys to break the silence. Talk to a brother, talk to a sister. Tell them you're thinking about them. It's really important to tell someone that you're thinking about them and to tell them that you're there for them. Because it takes 2 seconds. You see, one of the things that you guys need to understand, you see, December 24th, I was at my house. And all my kids were gone to their families, to the side of their dad's side of the family. And I was by myself. And then some of my friends reached out to me and said, you're going to sell on the 24th, you by yourself, Nadia? I'm like, yeah, whatever. With all those people that you know, you have nobody? I go, I got God.
Right.
You know, so... And it was lonely. Guys, I was really lonely and I felt by myself. I felt alone. But one of the things that helped me a lot was that I read a book. And I went downtown. I went for a walk. I kept myself busy. There's certain stuff that you could do to help you keep your mind in the right place. And if you want to support me, if you go to my website and you make a donation for those kids, or you talk to somebody about Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia, tell them to go like the page and to reach out, to communicate, to become a member of Le Diamant Bleu. Because then together, with all the organization together, we can make the difference. But, you know, when you're by yourself and you don't have nobody to help out, it's not easy. For me, my main purpose is to give out to the community, to give another diamond to another person that's in need. The same way that lady took care of me and she did not even know me. When I was left by myself in that group home, that woman picked up, she lost her job and she still took care of me.
What do you mean she lost her job?
She lost her job because she was a social worker. In a group home, you're not allowed to bring a person in your home. Everybody was gone to their respective family for Christmas. I had no one to go to.
So she lost her job because she was helping you?
She was helping me, yes.
Oh, wow. God bless her life, her spirit, her soul. Wow, sister. So so that's how we can help you. So we can help you by helping others. That's very awesome. And just creating the awareness that your services exist. And guys, and that's free. That's easy. All right. Create the awareness. Share. Let people know that the support is available to them. Speak to somebody. Okay, cool. So then I think that's an easy one. And giving a donation on the website, that supports as well.
It will be helpful. My dream, guys, and if you listen to me and to any investors, anybody that's here, my dream is to have a high rise where I could give a room to a child that's in need. A child that when they have nowhere to go, when mommy and daddy are fighting, instead of going on the street, they could come to knock on the diamant bleu and say, "Ma'am, I have nowhere to go. Here's a place for you to stay."
Mm-hmm. I love that, and that's, you know what? Let's talk about that, because I know I have some relationships with some foundations that could be a value to you with that.
And you know, the reason, one of the things, if you listen to me or some other organization, because 4 years ago, I did an event where it says let's spoil the single moms, and after they listened to my story, the deputies and all the people were saying to me, it was my dream to write my book. And they said, we're gonna sponsor your book. We're gonna take your book. We're gonna write everything for you. Until this day, my book is done and not written. So don't make fake promises.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, so I don't want to make no fake promises. I want to be able to give.
There's a lot of people out there who do that.
No, don't pretend that you're something that you're not, because at the end of the day, your mask will come out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who say things because it sounds good.
Yeah.
And they have no real intention. And
they really, anyway, so like that's a whole rabbit hole, because I feel like that's one of our challenges as a community. It's like, yo, if you can't, if you can do, if you can't, you don't. But don't say anything. Don't say you can and then you don't.
That's my pet peeve.
Yo.
When you come and sow a seed that you had no intentions of watering.
It's like, why'd you do that? Like,
I
didn't even go seek you out. Did I tell you? Hey, can you help me write a book? No, you came out here like, I'm gonna do this, and then you just don't show up.
Anyways, no, this has been what it is. So now, you know, and there's a question I forgot to ask you. I want to ask you in terms of challenges. Like, if you, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, what kind of challenges that you face with your organization?
I face a lot of challenges, a lot. Like example, there's people that'll tell me, as a woman, guys, I'm gonna tell you, to all the men out there, entrepreneurs and stuff like that, because I'm a young girl and some people knows that I'm vulnerable a lot. So a lot of the men will come up to me and say, I want to invest in your business, and I'll be like, oh yeah, it's cool, okay, whatever, this is how you can invest. Why don't we go for a drink? I'll be, okay, me, looseball that I am sometimes, I will go for a drink, and I'm like, okay, we're going for a drink. I rented a room up there, you know, and stuff like that. And it goes to just that kind of sense, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys need to understand, not because I'm vulnerable, I'm naive neither. You know, I'm 46 years old, but I'm a strong woman. I'm extremely strong. So what's important for me is to stay humble. You understand? And the challenges I find is that people make a lot of promises and that's not there. And what I find also trying is that I always have to offer money to help me out. You guys say that mental health talks to you, but what do I have to offer you money to talk about mental health? What can we help the youth and achieve as a community together? You understand? Well, it's so important to make it happen together.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so it's truck, man. Wow, community we're in. So no, this has been a very fun, and so now I understand the challenges. Is one thing I'd recommend. Anytime you get those invitations, go with Jerry. Be like, okay, cool, I'll become with my partner.
Actually, you know what's so funny? And I have to let you guys laugh. So every time a man reach out to me, I said, okay, no problem. They give me a time and frame, and I said, Jerry, this is the time, And when they see Jerry, like, no, I think there was a miscommunication. Jerry's like, no, there was no miscommunication. Are you going to invest or you're not going to invest?
Exactly. We're here for the business. I love it, Queen. So as we're now closing up, words of empowerment. What would you like to leave with our community, as your words of empowerment?
So as for my words of empowerment, to tell you guys, if you're listening to this, I want you guys to understand you're not alone. And I'm using my experience, my story to break the stigma in the community. So God is there, I'm there, and we're here to work together and to make the difference together. Let's break the silence and let's achieve our goal. Your resilience does not define you. Your resilience makes you stronger. So your abundance, your prosperity, your integrity, you're not alone. I'm here with you, and the whole community is there with you.
Queen, thank you for that. Thank you again for coming and blessing Parlay with the People. It's always awesome having you, and it's an honor to have you as a partner of the OFC community. So now, as we're now getting ready to take a pause for the cause, we will be back with Ungrind My Gears with Gina the Great.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Actually, it's time to ungrind those gears. Let's get into some interesting facts, tips, and a whole lot of fun with Gina the Great. What the facts is going on? Do you know the difference between hip hop and rap?
The difference between hip hop and rap. Well, when I think rap music, I think more. It's like I did this with my hand. Sorry. I'm thinking rap, and hip hop I find is more entertaining.
I love how the definition of rap with you was just basically saying rap 2 times.
And with my fist. You forgot the fist?
Pump,
okay,
with
yeah.
A fist.
That's
okay.
Rap. Rap.
Okay, definition of rap according to Pharaoh. Rap. Rap.
Fist. You forgot the fist.
But I did it with the fist.
I know, but the listeners.
Oh, sorry. Rap. Fist on, rap. Got it. Okay. Well.
And hip hop is entertainment.
Well, let's hear about the history of hip hop.
And the culture was not coined yet. Hip hop was a rap. Let's get that straight. The word hip hop means MC Cowboy from the Furious Five throwing a jam on the mic. He said, "My boy is going to the army." He did a military cadence. Hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop. Then another guy named Lovebug Starsky took it and he went hip hop. She wop the bop, the bop. Hip hip to the hop, say hip hop. But she wop the bang, rock it to the beat, cause it ain't no thing. When I say hip, you say hop, say hip hop. Hip hop. Say she wop the bop. Say hip hop. Say she wop the bop. Hip hop, she wop the bop, the bop, the bop, hip to the hop, say. That's called MCing, not rapping. That's what MCing sounded like before it became the long verse. MCing with short rhymes and crowd pleasers, mic control, move the crowd, and then the MC would have a box called an echo chamber. This is they're not gonna tell you. You never notice. This is before Sugar Hill Gang. Hip, hip, hop, hop, she wop the bop, bop, rock to the hip, 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 hip. Then the rock to the hop, 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 and you don't stop that body rock. Cause I'm on the go on your stereo. Yo is all of you can see. Cause I'm the mystical, the magical, dedicated king, and I go by ACD. Well. So they're manipulating the echo while they're rhyming. That's MCing.
Well, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know.
So that's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Yeah, what's rap?
Rap is, I guess, like
the
the
lyricing.
Yeah, not the fist pump of it all.
Okay.
But hip hop came to life in the 70s, and the Bronx legends like Keith Cowboy and Lovebug Starsky shaped this term, inspired by the rhythms, dance, and the energy of the street. So what started as a sound, hip hop, evolved into a culture, DJing, MCing, breaking, and graffiti, 4 elements that change the world. And so hip hop is expression, unity, and revolution.
And and from what I understand, the birthplace of that is New York.
The Bronx.
That's what it is. And actually, shout out to the Drink Champs. I was watching the episode with Dave Chappelle and Black Star. So that's Talib Kweli and Yassine Bey, formerly known as Mos Def. And if you guys have not watched it, go back and watch it. It's such, especially if you're a hip hop fan, like you're into the culture, into the music, like they just bring you down, like, you know, memory lane, and just the way they're talking about it. And Dave Chappelle especially, you know, he's not even the artist. They did it at his spot. You know, David has like this I can't remember what he calls it, like the shack or something like that. So the Drink Champs went to his shack and they did it there, which is dope. The atmosphere is awesome, but Dave really, like, if anybody who remembers, like, you know, the Chappelle Show and stuff like that, they would bring out hip hop artists
every time.
You know what I mean? But Dave is like, he talks about his like introduction to hip hop and understanding he grew up in Ohio, right? So it's like, so to find, you know, somebody, he's like, the story he gives, you know, somebody showing up with a boombox and he's like, yo, what is this? You know, it's like, yeah, he was like, this is what it is. But anyways, so just to say, give that homage. Say,
like, I think that's why, and what he's kind of saying, like, it's like hip hop now is more the culture, rap is the music, right?
Yeah.
And so, you don't listen to hip hop, you live hip hop. You listen to rap.
I like that.
So I know the FDA is in the U.S., but you know, what happens there happens here. But I wanted to bring this to everyone's to the forefront and to so people can know, because you got to figure out what you're eating, and sometimes that fun little red Jolly Rancher or that green candy is very much problematic. But the FDA may outlaw food dyes within the next couple of weeks. So that's a bombshell move that would affect the candy, soda, cakes, and revolutionize the American diets. And we're also seeing a shift where I don't know how much I like or dislike it, but at this point in time, like, something needs to get done. But there's a lot more focus on. They're saying how in the United States that the obesity rate is no longer inclining. It's like it's on the decline per se, because of all of the weight loss drugs that are out there. And what I'm hoping that people do is that if and when you take these drugs and you do that you adjust the lifestyle, because all it's doing otherwise is because the way I see it, I don't see like big pharma as really caring about your health.
Of course
they just need to prolong your life so that you can keep spending for these things, right?
Well,
but when you're smart about it, you get to use the means and change what you do with yourself too, right? So if that's your jump start and you need that to lose the weight and to because losing weight also helps a lot your organs. When you're overweight, your organs are working double time to keep you alive. So if and when you do that, try to make the changes in your life to
like match it.
To not go back to what that is, right? But and I know it's hard in North America because they do poison a lot of our food.
Yeah.
But scientific studies have suggested that the potential link between red dye 40 and hyperactivity, so including ADHD, and reports noted improvements in behavior and attention with when such dyes are eliminated from the diets. So we spoke about, you know, like in the classroom telling kids that they have ADHD, like telling parents that their kids have ADHD. Yes, because children have energy and whatnot, but then perhaps it's also in the food of what they're eating. Too much candy. Those Fruit Loops in the morning, folks. Yeah, that's not real breakfast.
Facts.
But so yeah, that was Kantha Sheik, a PhD founder of food science research firm of the Corvus Blue and member of the Institute of Food and Technology, that told ABC News.
Yo, I find it's just crazy that it's like, we know as a society, it's like everything's trying to kill us. Like, they're trying to kill us through the food, they're trying to kill us through our water, they're trying to kill us through the air, they're just spraying stuff in the air and the atmosphere, they're killing us through vaccines. It's like, when are we going to realize as a human species that there's somebody behind the scenes that does not want us to live? It's like, we do need to actually take stock and really like.
And it's not all just wanting to kill us. They want to make us what's it called?
Well, I heard population control. That's what I keep hearing.
Well, there's population control, but there's also, like, it's not about killing you, it's about making you sick, right? So that making you dependent. That's the word I was looking for. So it's making you dependent.
Yeah. All right. So it's between basically becoming dependent on these things.
Because you dying, there's no money in you outside of the funeral homes or whatever. There's no money in you dying. There's more money if you can live longer, so that you can continue consuming.
Right. That's it.
And
but then there's this whole rhetoric of population control and clearly with the amount of people that are dropping dead right now, they're doing something that's working. Because it's like it's happening. It's happening.
So if you're strong enough to stay alive from everything we're doing, we get to we get to extract all your
resources
and resources. And if you die, well,
population control.
Have you guys heard of Mr. International?
Mr. International?
Yeah.
No. I know Mr. Marvel. Shout out to Kim Dominic, but no.
Well, apparently there's a world pageant called Mr. World. It's Mr. International, and 2024's Mr. International was actually from Nigeria, and he is the first African and Nigerian to ever win the title.
I didn't even know it existed. So it's like a fashion thing?
Neither did I. You say it's no, like,
not
you know how you have
a pageant. Sorry, not a
fashion.
pageant.
It's a pageant.
Like a pageant.
So you know how you have Miss World?
You're right.
This is Mr. International.
Yo, I want to apply.
I want to apply too.
Me too. Yeah. Well, hey, it's for men.
Well, how do you define men?
In this day and age? Don't get me started, Gina. Oh, my God.
That's what I was going to say.
Today, I identify as my dog today. Sorry.
So, I think he goes by Nem Samuel because his first name is Nwajugu, Nwajagu. So he's actually crowned December 14th, 2023, but it makes you, I think, Mr. International for 2024.
Oh, congrats.
So that was pretty cool there.
How do you become a pageant? That's a good, I would love to become a pageant.
You want to join a pageant? Be a part of one?
Yeah.
Yeah? There's one in Montreal.
I would love to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she's a member too, the one who runs it. I can introduce her.
Really?
Yeah, it's Dawn. Shout out to Dawn. She runs a pageant. If you want, I could connect her.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's
done.
Interesting.
And here, when we say we're gonna do something, we do it. Okay, so just know you're gonna connect with Dawn.
That's right, funny.
I wanted to come back to the food that you were saying.
Yeah.
Basically, like I travel, like I'm really fragile with food, and I've noticed I cannot eat bread. I cannot eat anything here in Montreal, right? But I went to Morocco and Tunisia, and did you know that over there, milk? It's every morning you have to go pick up milk. You pick up milk from the farm, and they give you milk. The bread has to be made every day. There's no such thing of bread. Conservative on bread. The day off, there's a boulangerie. There's like basically a bakery, and you go and pick up the bread every morning, and it brings it. Every time I eat over there, my stomach never hurt, nothing. But when I came back here, I got sick like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
But over there, like drinking milk, no problem. Eating bread, no problem. Eating fish, no problem, because they pick up the fish and then they clean it and they cook it.
That's it.
But here it's totally different.
And they drink whole milk, and it's what's the raw milk?
Yes.
It's not whole milk, because the whole milk is the one they drink raw milk, and raw milk is actually illegal in North America.
You see? And isn't that crazy? Like it's like, yo, anyway, society, it's nuts what they're doing. Like,
and like to that point too, like, and when you go into those countries, they have a lot of like. When you look at pita and stuff, it's like, this is quick bread. It's not like you have to let it rise, So you eat it. It's what it needs to be. Yep. And, 100%. 100%. I don't have a long one for you guys today. So I actually do have trivia. I have trivia this week. Last week y'all almost tripped on it. And hey, depending on how much time trivia takes, and maybe we'll do a round 2 of... say the same thing? Okay. Maybe not.
Au revoir.
But speaking of food, this trivia that I'm doing, it's know what you consume, right? So you may not have the answers, you may have the answers, but with every answer, I'm going to give you a little tidbit of why or the benefits of consuming said thing. Okay. So we're doing herb trivias.
Herb trivia?
Yeah, herbs. I just got 5 for you. Okay. Maybe I'll come back with some more next week, but these are your herbs. So... Question number 1.
Okay.
Which herb is the same family as carrots and originated in the Mediterranean regions and Asia Minor?
Parsley.
No, good guess though. I love the guess. I'll take guesses today.
Isn't it the coriander? No.
Coriander, that's a good guess too, but it's dill.
Dill.
Annette.
I was gonna say dill too.
I heard you say dill.
I said dill. J'ai dit Annette. Après j'ai dit non, c'est pas ça. J'ai changé.
Yes, I heard you say it. I heard you about to say it. So dill is rich in vitamin A and vitamin C and magnesium. Its bountiful supply of flavonoids help protect us against heart diseases. It also has gastrointestinal benefits as it eases constipation and indigestion.
Oh, wow.
Dill is actually an herb and a spice. It's considered an herb and a spice.
I didn't even know that.
Very cool.
Yeah. I didn't used to like dill. Now I love it. Especially when you pair dill and lemon. Bang.
Right? Okay.
It's everything. It does everything that you need.
I'm coming to your house when you're cooking, okay?
Girl, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
She could bring stuff to the show too, Chad.
Like I did today, because I did.
Yeah, you did. Can we ask it?
Question number 2. What is the main herb found in pesto?
Tomato? No,
Oregano?
No, it's did you say oregano?
He said oregano, yeah.
I know.
I know you guys have that. I know it's there.
Le pesto, c'est le.
Starts with the B.
Basil?
It's basil, basilic.
Wow.
Yes, so it's a plant. It's a plant that's highly fragrant with highly fragrant leaves. There are more than 60 varieties of this plant, with sweet basil being the most common. It is also known for aiding in cardiovascular health and full of vitamin K. Belonging to the same botanical family as parsley, this spice is known for its peppery flavor. The seeds are commonly used in cuisine in the Middle East, North Africa, and India and Pakistan. Name this popular spice.
The pimento. But
curry? No.
You're close. You're very, very close with that. What's in curry?
what's it called?
C'est le truc là.
What's it called?
You had it.
It's like
Tamarin, no.
What's it called? Like
curry
not cumin.
Cumin. Yeah, cumin.
Yeah, it's like yes. It was,
See, I was like tamarin, non, c'est pas ça, c'est quelque chose.
Yeah, and so cumin, dating back to biblical times, the ancient Romans and Greeks frequently used cumin to season their food. The plant, which grows up to 1.6 feet tall, produces white and pink flowers. In the Middle Ages, it was thought that cumin promoted fidelity, and for this reason, it was carried during wedding ceremonies. Using cumin as a spice increases antioxidants intake, promotes digestion, provides iron. How's your feet, by the way? From last week, you were talking about cold feet.
It's funny. They're still kind of cold.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
You need cumin in your diet.
Yeah.
May improve blood sugar control and may reduce foodborne illnesses. Huh. I wonder if they use cumin a lot to like preserve foods for that foodborne
They do
illnesses.
actually. If you check into the little small written stuff.
A lot of it has cumin, huh? Well, Jamaican jerk spices has 2 main ingredients. One of them being a spice that they call pimento in Jamaica. It's also called Jamaica pepper, kurundu, and myrtle pepper. What spice is this?
Wait, you said in Jamaica there's 2 spices.
There's 2 spices. So now we're talking about the pimento.
Right.
So what is the spice? What is pimento?
Well, pimento's a pepper. What do you mean? Like it's not a hot pepper, but what do you?
Right. There's a word for it though.
Oh.
And they call it that word because it tastes like a combination of other spices. That was a clue.
Yeah, a combination of other spices. Because when you started, you said herbs in Jamaica. I was like, weed for sure. They're putting weed in stuff.
I didn't say anything about herbs.
I thought this whole thing was about
Jamaican jerk
herbs.
spice.
I know. Then that's when you're throwing me off. You're throwing me a curveball.
I'm actually looking for.
Well,
I have no clue.
The answer is allspice.
What? That's an actual thing?
Yes.
Damn.
Allspice, that's what I said.
For those who can't see, I just love the side eye and smirk that Drew gave. What? Yes, allspice. It's made of a dried berry from the plant of pimenta. Some think allspice tastes like the combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. So sometimes when you have your allspice and you don't have those other elements, you just gotta allspice it.
Allspice.
That's why I said, you didn't hear me, but I said choix du chef.
What's choix du chef?
Choix du chef is basically allspice.
In French? It's called choix du chef?
It's a choix du chef in Haitian. Like in Haitian.
In
Creole, they have it like it's a spice. It's all kind of spice.
Well, wow, that's the first time I heard that.
It's just a choix du chef. And if you go to a Caribbean Haitian store, you say, "Oh, j'ai besoin d'épices choix du chef." They'll give you choix du chef.
Dope.
Love that. Learned that. And I mean, a little shame because I am half Haitian, but learned that. But I was known as allspice. Okay, so last question. This herb is a member of the allumium family. And is sometimes known as rush leeks. It is found in most herb gardens and kitchens and is a valuable source of calcium.
Ginger, no.
You said rush leaves?
Yeah, it's known as rush leaves. Rush leeks.
Rush leeks. What does it look like?
It's green.
Yeah, good. Okay, got it.
What's a leek? Do you guys
Poireau.
What poireau? What is a poireau though?
It's an onion, green onion.
It's an onion. It's okay. So let's think about that.
You're talking about the build de la green onion, like what you just ate, kind of thing. No. But this thing, the aluminum family, garlic.
This is a type of onion, but it's green.
Poireau vert, poireau.
Like the green onion, onion.
Onion.
You know what's funny though? I'll give you half a point for that only because some people will interchange green onion with chives, but chives tend to be the thinner, green leaves, and the green onions are the green onions that we know.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, chives. So chives are part of the onion family, but their flavor is fairly mild. They are traditionally added to cream cheeses and sour creams and add a new dimension. Chives. A chive oil has excellent antibacterial properties. So that's what I had for you guys today for your trivia. It wasn't my most funniest trivia, but it was an educational one.
It's an educational one, and we're talking health. So we're talking health all day today, so it's fitting.
Exactly.
I've learned a lot, though. Really.
That's what we're here for.
I've learned.
If for nothing else, that makes me happy. I'll leave it to you guys. Do you guys want to try to see if you can say the same thing?
So there's a cool game. We can try it.
All right, so we'll try it.
All right, go ahead, Jenny. You break it down.
So last week we did this game for the first time. It's called Say the Same Thing. And so I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to say whatever word that comes to your mind. So you and Farrah are going to say it at the same time. So once you say your word, you're going to try to find the correlation, like what can be related between those two words until you guys end up saying the same word.
Oh, really?
Eventually.
Yeah, it's a cool activity.
Yeah, they didn't believe in it.
I was shitting on it last week, but it was great.
Okay. You got it. So whatever word that comes to your mind, I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to think of a word.
I have it already in my head.
You have it?
I have mine.
You have one?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Happy.
Mental.
The what, sorry?
Mental.
Mental and happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have happy and mental. Find a correlating word between happy and mental.
Okay, hold on, because this is where you gotta get nervous. Okay,
yeah.
Hold on. Correlating word between happy and mental.
Happy and mental.
Okay.
Mind.
Okay.
Oh, no. You gotta go wait for the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you have to wait. We have to
think of another word.
Yeah, we have to say it together, like the same type of thing. But now we have to try to find a word that correlates in between those two.
Okay.
So between healthy and mental.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Communication.
What'd you say?
Communication.
You said communication too?
Communication.
Oh,
damn!
Super quick.
We got it. Wow.
That was super quick.
That's so cool. Yeah, this game is fun. Okay, all right. So
might have to come in the rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's like, all right, so happy and like in my head, I was like, okay, the solution is communication, and
there it is. Well, I grind, you grind, and sometimes we need to ungrind together. That's Ungrind My Gears with Gina the Great. I'd like to thank our special guests. This episode is possible thanks to the awesome people at CKUT, the OFC, Drew, and the Stew. Do you have any shout-outs? Do you have any shout-outs to give? Speaking to the mic.
Shout out to everybody here, to all the youth, to all the members of OFC, and to all the single parents, all the fathers. You guys are doing a marvelous job, and we're all here for you, for all the members.
Awesome. My shout out this week honestly goes to you, Nadia. Like, what a story, what a triumph, and what a continuum in what you're doing. Thank you for what you do for the community. Thank you for what you do for yourself, because you cannot pour into others had you not poured into yourself. And, shout out to you and your family and all the great things that your children are doing, because you are a reflection in all of that.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. Shout outs on this side. Actually, I would like to shout out our team at the OFC, the admin team behind the scenes that have been helping to make things happen and helping to making that help to make the connections, help to follow up with the members. I don't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you. The members appreciate you, so thank you. On that same note, big shout out to Drew and the Stew for real. Just handling it behind the scenes, creating the space for us to be able to continue to do what we're doing and to getting the word out to the community. It means a lot. And always got to shout out my family just for putting up with me. You too, Gina.
I took it in.
Yeah.
I am I do put up.
You're like, yeah, you're welcome. No, so that's really what it is. I'll always just giving thanks to the ancestors for bringing us where we are. And the members, I appreciate you guys for connecting with each other. All right, because this is really what it means to be a part of a community.
Can I say?
Of course.
I also wanted to shout out to my associate, Jerry Carie, to my kids, and I want to shout out to my work, my doctors. Thank you so much for just listening and trusting me.
Awesome.
Reminder, everybody who's hearing this, please make it a point to support Le Diamant Bleu de Nadia. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys coming out on Grand Nombre. As you guys heard, what the sister needs is that support. Share what she's doing, encourage what she's doing. If you can attend, buy a ticket for somebody else, but just do what you can to encourage this, guys. Mental health should not be basically needs to come out of the silos. We need to break the stigmas. We need to battle this as a community.
Kings and Queens, this was the OFC Podcast Radio with Pharaoh Hammond Freeman, Queen Kaya, and myself, Gina the Great. We're on every Thursday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Stay blessed and highly favored. OFC Podcast Radio.